Samuel, a member of the Royal Priesthood Press and Publicity of the University Baptist Church. I'm here with the Educational Minister of the University Baptist Church. Yes, sir. Can we know you, sir?
Oluwatayomi Abiola. I serve as the Education Minister of University Baptist Church. Thank you.
He is Oluwatayomi Abiola. He's the Education Minister of the church. So, yes, sir. Can we know since when you've been in the church, you've been attending University Baptist Church?
I joined University Baptist Church while I was a student in Lautech in 2001, and after graduation and I sensed God's call, I came back for training in the seminary, and I've been with UBC since. I don't know if that answers your question. Well, I'm saying
like for years.
For years, both as a student of Lautech and as a pastor, 19 years now.
Wow, 19 years. So Reverend has been in church since 19 years. That's a lot. Yes, sir, I would love to ask that. What are the challenges since you've been with the Education Minister, that you've been in church pastoring University Baptist Church? Like, what have been the challenges you've experienced?
I started serving as Education Minister of University Baptist Church in 2012. And one of the there are many challenges actually, but a major challenge is quite a number are confronted with negative influence from the friends they keep, negative influence from cultists, negative influence from Yahoo guys and the rest. So you see some coming to church, listening to God's word, only to leave the church and do the opposite. That to me is a major challenge. We should be the ones influencing them rather than they influencing us negatively.
Thank you, sir. Yes, the University Baptist Church is celebrating the 25th anniversary, and we are already in November. From 21st to 29th of November, they will be celebrating the 25th anniversary, Thanksgiving, and the occasion. So I would love to ask that, what are the plans that you want the University Baptist Church to do in the next coming 5 years, which will be celebrating the 30 years? Plans, focus, reshaping, refreshing things that you want the church to do.
We are doing well by God's grace, but we believe that there is more room, there is more land to conquer. We are trusting God that in the next years to come, we will have greater impact in Lautech community. We will have greater impact in campuses all over Nigeria. The goal is not just to exist as a church. Our presence should lead to more positive impact, should lead to greater transformation of lives around. So those are some things we are looking up to God for.
Forming lives. Okay, thank you so much, sir. Another thing is that, what can you say about the leadership of the church leadership? How has it been to you, and how has the church leadership been helping you, sir?
University Baptist Church is privileged to have a father. Our father, Reverend Ogbomoso, has been a father. I'm a product of his leadership, and I'm still a product of his leadership, and I still continue to learn. We are privileged to have a sacrificial. We are privileged to have a loving father leading us. Sincerely, the church is privileged, families are privileged, individuals are privileged. I'm also privileged. Under his leadership, I've discovered more potentials I have. My capacity has increased, and I see myself improving and developing on a daily basis.
Thank you so much, sir. Thanks so much, sir. Have you ever been with Reverend Tayo Abiola before? The way he relates with student pastors, and even pastors in church, and even with elderly ones in church, it's always quite interesting. But I would love to ask Reverend that, how does he balance this relationship? Because sometimes I will just names that I can't remember. Reverend tends to remember them sometimes. But I would love to ask him that, how does he balance the relationship between students in church, student pastors, and even pastors in church, and with the adult ones in church, and even with families?
One major thing is to take interest in people. When you take interest in people, you notice that they are not crowd, they are individuals. One thing I've learned, and I'm still learning, is to take interest in people. John Maxwell once said, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Once we make it a priority to take interest in people, and remember that the world is not all about us, and remember it is about people around us, it becomes easier relating with people. It also becomes easier relating with people when we observe them. We remember that not all people are the same. People in the church, people around are not a parade, are not a military platoon. They are individuals with potentials, individuals with areas of uniqueness. Once we are out to see areas where people are gifted and unique, it becomes easier to relate better with them. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. That's a lot of lessons you've learned. Have interest in people. When you have interest in people, you learn so much from people. That's what me too have been trying to do. I've been learning from him also. When you have interest in people, you know people more about them. You tolerate people, not only tolerate them, you understand them so well. So thank you very much, sir. Another thing I would love to ask, sir, at this trying period in this nation, Nigeria most especially, people who have been having some downwards parts, discouraging parts. So what is the word of advice can you give to the people at this time especially?
A verse in 1 Samuel chapter 30 made reference to how David encouraged himself in the Lord. Year 2020 has been a challenging year, but one way by which we can navigate through year 2020 is to encourage ourselves in the Lord. This is a period where people's faith is undergoing trial. This is a period where people are confronted with compromise. It is also a time to draw closer to God. It is a time to encourage ourselves in the Lord. It is a time to get closer to God's word. It is a time to walk with like-minded people. And it's a time to remember that these challenges will not last. They are only temporary. I think those things are very helpful.
Thank you so much, sir. That's a brief chat we have had with Reverend Oluwatayomi Abiola. This is Reverend Oluwatayomi Abiola. He's been a wonderful minister of God. Most especially, he's so nice. He tolerates people and accommodates people so much. And he's been a wonderful man of God. Thank you so much for this. Thank you so much for the understanding, sir. God bless you, sir.
Amen.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.